Well, I'm from here. This is Waupun Lake. I grew up here my whole life. When I'm living in the city, I feel homesick. So when I come to Waupun, I just feel like better. I'm at home. It just feels natural.
17, turning 18. Art's just like therapy. Doesn't even matter if it's like good or not, or doesn't make sense to anyone. Like, it makes sense to me.
So when I first started beading, I didn't have anybody to teach me. I guess I just picked it up by myself. This was just like an outline on a piece of paper, and you can kind of see like the paper inside of it, starting like from nothing, and like the end result was just amazing, you know? It was like a big accomplishment, not gonna lie.
I just have a thing with monsters, I guess. I feel like I have to put it down somewhere instead of like making like an actual monster come to life. I feel like it's done that before in my life. So that's why I started painting monsters. I love telling my bros about my art too and like showing them because they understand what I'm saying when I say that. Like, man, like, there's just so much like, they know what goes on in my life, so they're like, okay, just let her paint the monsters, it's probably best.
You know, like being in like that bad scene, not really having anything to like do, nowhere to go, no place to go, just like homeless, you know, in a bad spot. Drugs, gangs, you know, it was eating me away, it was eating me alive, and I just realized I have nothing, so I'm gonna have to work really hard for it now, like, to turn it all around and gain it all back.
It started off with me being taken away. You know, as a 4-year-old, you see that as like, you know, a parent shutting you out. I was in the backseat of the police car. The police were driving away, and I was just like on my knees on the back seat, looking out the window. And I just remember seeing my parents going inside and closing the door. I'm like, why are they letting me go?
Yeah, no, I had like a lot of friends die during my teenage years. Like, could have been me because they were really close people to me. You know, with substances, you're gonna end up hurting each other. Like, relationships will not thrive with substances always being present. I just want people to know, like situations like that, like, that's literally just the pure, outcome of, like, colonization, the pure outcome, like, of what happens to our kids. We're just still processing, like, the evil that came from overseas. So it's gonna take a lot of time. Like, my gukum, she says, for us to, like, actually heal from what happened to us, they said it was gonna take 7 generations to fully heal. I was like, I believe that because, like, it just happened like 2 gukums ago where you just got, like, it's colonized. A lot more people could be more understanding or educated on the people who reside on this land.
I wanted to get sober. Well, the first thing that I did was ask my lawyer to get me into a treatment. And then I asked the elder with the Indigenous court. They got me in treatment. So it was pretty cool. I was just scared to do it because it's not something I ever did, you know, ask for help. It's not something I ever did, but it was one of the greatest things I did, actually. Saved my life.
So I was trying to find a place, and I was getting frustrated. Then I found this place, and then everything just came together after that. It just worked really fast. NCSA helped me, and they helped me with my first month's rent. They helped me apply for tenants insurance. They helped me register for electricity bill, and, you know, it helped. Because I like being in my own quiet space, whereas a lot of people like being out there with, you know, a lot of people socializing. I just like staying home. For a majority of my life, I was not active. I used to be a little bit overweight as well. And then when I got to about high school is when I got into my depression a little bit. And I started thinking about, like, okay, well, maybe exercise is good for me. That's also when I got into golf. Yesterday, I went to the Alberta Indigenous Games Grand Entry. I got asked to play on a team. I need to practice for that. With my late grandpa, he used to like drag me and my brother to the golf course. We practiced every day. Then I didn't really get into it until I was about like 12 when I started joining tournaments. It's done a lot. It taught me how to focus. I learned how to shut some things out and focus on one thing. Not just like focus on the golf ball, focus on myself.
Yeah, right now I'm just in Cunningham Place, chilling in my room. Feels good to just have my own things, have my own place, have my own space, and, you know, I feel like I have a really good support system. With NCSA, I feel like they don't just like let you go and without a place to go. You know, they always make sure you're good, and, you know, like making meetings and stuff like that, getting to appointments. I just feel really safe with them.
I got friends to talk about everything with now, and they're like always there for me. So I'm really thankful. Really thankful for what I have now. All my friends now are all older now. They're more down to just lay back and chill and be nice to each other, you know? I don't know. I just want my people to get justice. I just want the kids who are with me to get justice, because, like, I don't know, like, will I ever get justice?
When the pandemic hit, I just, you know, had to stay home for a whole year. So I'm like, you know what? I may as well take this time and bead. I'm currently making a 3-layer necklace. This is the first layer. I started last night. Most people do a wraparound. I do peyote stitch, which is 1 bead at a time. People stop doing it because it's so tedious. A lot of people who buy my beadwork know me for peyote stitch because they're like, we don't see that anymore. I used to make it an option, but now it's just become a mandatory thing. I like the little goals, but in the long run, it's a lot that I've achieved versus where I used to be. So I'm starting to relax and I'm feeling better about myself.
Getting back in touch with the culture was the main thing. Making connections with elders, ceremonies, sweats, all of those things.
I think sobriety is like everyone who's like my age. I think that's like their biggest goal. My family, we do sweats, sun dances. Ceremony is vital for my kids my age to like succeed, because that's all our like ancestors knew, and that's how they succeeded. Every time you go to ceremony, you're there to work on something. Yeah, I want to work on my own dress, material, and all that. I need more knowledge, I feel like. It helps me make sense of things because, like, I love living life to the fullest. Like, present is always the best I'm gonna be. So feel like this is the best I've been so far when it comes to art and friends and choices.
If I had the opportunity to go back in time to tell myself, you know, nobody's gonna do it for you. There's no one out there that's gonna do it for you. You're gonna have to have that willingness to make that decision to change. And to ask for help, to never be scared to ask for help. Yeah, I feel more like myself, like I gained my spirit back, you know? I took that back. Feels good, man.